What's up, everyone? A little bit more mail day action going on here. Baseball MVPs are getting announced tomorrow. Hopefully, for the sake of what I've pulled, it's these two gentlemen, Acuna and Ohtani. Couple base, couple refractors, that's what? 120 and then 100, so 220. If it is those two gentlemen, I've got 14 2023 Chrome Megas left that I will be opening once those are announced. I've been saving those, but I'll go ahead and get those open and see what we got in terms of dollar value. Last year, I just sold the cards on eBay. This year, I'm actually going to cash them in for credit. Try to get something, probably go with blowout. They have a little something I want right now. Not saying it'll still be on sale once I cash those in. Got these 2021 Megas off of eBay. These were $43 for both. Obviously, the class isn't that great. That's why I was able to score them for such a low price, but I didn't open any Megas that year. I was just opening blasters. Saw these, nobody was really bidding on them. So I went ahead and put the bid in and won these bad boys. I think I might have showed this off before. Purchased this off the Bay as well. It was like $100 or so. 2 autos, that's last year's stale Bowman Chrome 2022. So I'll be hunting for a certain quarterback. Bust those open soon. Ugly photo that quarterback had in that particular set. It's now mandatory that I get a couple GPK blasters to rip. These were on sale on Fanatics, so I grabbed those when I grabbed a bunch of these Merlin blasters right here. Picked up 16 of these, have all of these. I'll just show a photo. I'm not going to bust all 16 out here on the table. Picked this up on the Bay, 40 bucks. Picked up a few autos, about 10 bucks each for each of these. Enrique Bradfield Jr., 2 of 2 auto. Wild card, another wild card. It's a 4 of 4 this time. Bradfield. Christian Hernandez, 5-card draw. That's actually a 1 of 1. Kind of hard to see. There you go. Primo. 19 bucks for that. We'll see. I think that's more of a long-term play, given the roster he's on right now. Clippers, Bowman U action, auto film Alpha. About 15 bucks for that one. I paid right at about $25 for this Johnny Wilson auto to 75, and the seller hooked it up. He threw in this Jared Verse base auto and this to 399 refractor of Johnny Wilson. Outstanding Florida State wide receiver. Olu Fashanu, green to 99. About $17 for that one. He is projected as potential top 5, top 10 pick next year if he comes out. It's a guard from Penn State. A few more Alvarez autos. Base. And you have these blues here. They're numbered to 150. A couple Adrian Santana autos. He hadn't had any autos when I picked these up, and I mentioned this in the previous mail day video. He hadn't had autos, but now he does. He's in 2023 Bowman draft, so he's a guy I'll be looking for. Rays prospect. A perfect game leaf metal autos. Same thing, right? They look the same. They should be exactly the same, right? But they're not. 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10. Usually they'll differentiate them color-wise, right? So you can tell what is numbered to what. Greens, orange, reds, so on and so on and so on. And Moff I showed is actually to 150. That's a fuchsia mini diamond, numbered to 150. Fuchsia mini diamond. All right, Mitch's box break. This is the second break of his I bought into. 2-case break, just like the first one. 12 players this time, $91.37. So let me get this open, get it out, and I'll show you what I got. Let's roll through these real quick. Braylon Trice, defensive end from Washington, and an X-Fractor. If you saw my previous video, Mitch's box breaks, you would have seen a lot of these similar guys. Lane Robinson, guard from A&M, a lot of base and an X-Fractor. Corey Foreman, same thing, a lot of base. We got a shimmer here. Not numbered on those ones, but they look great, don't they? Ruben Owens, base, and then a base refractor. Donovan Smith, Houston Cougars QB, bunch of base, nothing but base trash. Makai Lemon, wide receiver SC, base, and then a purple refractor to 399. Blake Fisher, base there, you see a base refractor. And then again, one of those shimmers that isn't numbered. Malik Benson, wide receiver from Alabama, base for days, baby. Tons of base, not a single refractor. Phil Maffa, Clemson running back, tons of base, 1 base refractor. One thing I was talking about in the previous video about breaks, ROI, and kind of waiting a little bit for the FOMO to pass. Something I should have elaborated on. I kept waiting as I was sitting there editing the video. I was like, God, am I going to say the thing? Like, say the thing. Get a Donnie Mitchell, all base. And this is pretty indicative of what I'm going to talk about. Obviously, ROI is busted here for the most part. I saved maybe the best two for last. But what I was talking about was, if you look into buying into breaks, the first week, 2 weeks, just depending on how much of the product is out there, just how many breakers are breaking it, the prices are really high. We see the same thing. I talked about the Wembanyama Prism Draft, or the Allen and Ginter base cards that were $60 when they first came out. After a couple weeks, they dropped down to $30, $25, and they'll drop even further. We see it time after time. Cyndi Lauper, time after time and time again, we should say. But the same is true of breaks, prices, and I'm talking specifically for player breaks that end at auction on eBay. Fixed price, that's a little bit different. Facebook, wherever you're buying, different. The first week or two, prices are crazy, and I was saying to perhaps avoid. I should have qualified that by saying if it's something for your personal collection. If you are looking to flip, then certainly. And that's the only way I can really think about why time and time again we see people paying these ridiculous prices when product first comes out. And I'm speaking of raw cards. Why are they paying so much money when we see time and time again, a week, 2, 3 weeks later, you could get it for half of what it was, a third of what it was, even at some point as more and more supply comes on the market. So why do people keep doing this over and over? The only thing I can think of that makes sense, and what I should have touched on in the video, was being the first to market, right? You know how it is. Get the cards in first, send them off to grading right away, get the graded card back right away, then flip it. That's the only thing I can think that makes sense. So if you're somebody who's doing that, then obviously, yeah, you want to buy into breaks right away. And you want to go with somebody who will ship it to you right away, because then you've got to turn that thing around to PSA ASAP, expedited mail. Get it to them, have them get it back to you ASAP, list that thing on the market, because days, it's just days. We're not even talking about a week, a day, 2, 3 days. You could miss your window of opportunity to capitalize on the idiots that are willing to overpay for stuff. And again, it's the same thing. Be that raw cards when breakers first start breaking new product. Bowman Draft just dropped yesterday. I ended up simping and picking up a super. Got it for $6.30. I had one of those old 10% discount codes that actually worked. So I got it for $6.30. If Fanatics drops them December 12th, I'm talking about Bowman Draft dropping yesterday, so obviously you can get an idea of when this video was. But if Fanatics has more, then maybe I'll try to grab one more. Jumbos were in stock when I was buying. I just decided against that. I just decided to pony up and go with the super. Checklist is a little bit watered down. They left out a few of the key guys from the top 10. Speculation was that they knew they could do that because of the Brady Chase, the autos that he has in there. Not sure what the numbers are like. I've heard different things in terms of the number of autos that he actually signed, so we'll see. Getting back to it, just to finish up my point real quick, we'll go through this Jared Verse action here. Heavy on the base on this one. Get a base chrome refractor and aqua. Those are to $2.99. And then we got this gold shimmer. That's actually to $50. These are hobby only. Blasters would yield golds, but it'd be just a true gold, not a shimmer like this. So just to finish it off, like I was saying, if you are trying to be out there flipping quick, then certainly you want to be buying into breaks early. All base for Jason Marshall, corner from Florida, except auto, and that is a crappy base auto. So out of 2 rounds with Mitch's box breaks, he only hit me 2 autos, and they were 2 crappy base autos. So, though breakers can't control what comes out, Tesla, what did come out of his stuff was trash. So I'm going to have to rethink that. He just doesn't seem to have the magic touch. I sung his praises for his packaging, but he's hitting nothing but trash for me. So I think I need to skirt away from breaks a little bit. I probably will get into a few player breaks of Bowman Draft, but I'd like to say maybe I won't be doing Bowman University next year, player breaks, but you'll probably see the video. Another reason now that I'm saying avoid Mitch, look at these cards. That's moisture in there. It wasn't on this one, but it's there. You can see it's under the sleeve. I should say inside the sleeve, and that'll damage your cards. You guys know I've talked about this before if you've seen all of my videos. There's something up with, it's a type of sleeve, something's going on here. You can see here on the auto. So I talked about this, about checking your cards often, and we're just going through random players here. You can see it, moisture, and it's on almost every player. So he's doing something wrong. I've noticed I had issues with this, and sure, the sleeve, but you have to take a look at the sleeve, because a lot of times when I get the sleeve, and it's not these particular ones that have it, but you can see some moisture here in the bottom. When you see that, you have to open up the sleeve like that and kind of wave it out, right, to get the moisture out before you put the card in. That's one speculation, or he just lives in an area, or maybe the house itself is humid. I don't know. I posed this question out there several times for people watching this video, and I've never gotten any feedback on it. I've posted in the Discord as well, and nobody really has any feedback, so I can only speculate. That's a little something, and potentially a reason to avoid Mitch. So I'm going to be avoiding Mitch in the future. I know I hyped him up in the last video. I can always admit when I'm in error. With the first batch, I noticed it first batch when I started going through and taking a thorough look at the cards. Then I was like, all right, now I gotta humble myself and make a correction. So that's my correction. Avoid this dude until he stops sending you wet cards. One other thing I wanted to add was I reported a seller. If you recall the Nico Collins card I talked about that was damaged, I sent it back to the seller, showed them the photos, they took the return, turned around and relisted it on eBay. I reported that motherfucker. That's dirty. I'll take the hit, I'll be the snitch. Filed the report with eBay. They wrote me back, said we investigated, and they are doing absolutely nothing about it. So that's eBay. They don't give a shit. And I'll post their reply right up there for you all to read. eBay does not give a rat's as long as they keep getting that sweet, juicy 15-ish% commission from each sale. They do not care. And sellers don't care either. They will knowingly sell you cards that have been shown to be damaged. So again, to finish up on that thought, yeah, it makes sense, and that's the only way I can rationalize it is if people are really out there trying to intake the stuff quickly, grade it, and then flip it on to some sucker who will overpay, right? We saw the whole Mac Jones, Don Russ rookie that went for $1,000 when it first came out, and now you probably couldn't even give those things away, and New England would be wise to give him away because he is awful. One last thing I wanted to talk about, some of the stuff that people grade. Some examples here that I'll show as we go through. Paper Bowman, Ellie De La Cruz from 2023. Who's paying for that? It's sold at auction. It's Davison De Los Santos Chrome. I had this on my watch list for quite some time, and this happened actually when Bowman dropped and SGC had that $9 special. Somebody graded it. They have it listed for $19.95. You're really telling me it's worth your time and effort to try to grade a card to make $10? That's before fees? I don't know. This stuff just doesn't make sense to me. See this Wembanyama Green, when I saw that this auction was over 10 with about a day to go, and it ended at 13K. When I saw what it was going for, I said, well, let me look at Jordan. And you can actually get PSA graded Jordan autos, multiples of them, for what people are paying for this $2.99 Wembanyama. So I guess the market's saying he's going to be the greatest player of all time when all is said and done. So it's just strange, the things that people pay for. And there's example after example. Sometimes I'll do this when I'm trying to bargain hunt, speculate on players, is you can go there and you'll find a graded card, a refractor of some kind. Maybe not so much a numbered card, but you can find this card and you can win it at auction sometimes. $15, $20, just depending on who the player is. Bowman firsts, maybe, for less money than it would cost for you to buy the card yourself, raw, and then send it off to get graded. One other example, this PSA 8 didn't sell. What are you doing? Obviously you didn't think it was going to be an 8 when you sent it in, but why would you grade a card like that anyway? It just, some of the stuff I see just doesn't make sense. I don't know. It just make it make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't. I don't know what people are doing out here. Are they trying to make money, or are they just grading the card just to give it to me for cheaper than I would have to pay for the raw card and grading fees? If so, I appreciate that. Just like I appreciate you all. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Be well. Breaks. Who's going degenerate on Bowman Draft Breaks? Hopefully this video's out before then. Probably won't be. Be well, everybody. I'll have my super, and I'll be opening that up on camera.